Now when we have styled the menu, we can continue towards the more inner part, but actually before I do that, I would like to I've said, and I say it again and again and again, do the design from the outside and move towards the more specific part. And that means start with all the common parts. And what kind of common parts do we have here? Well, if we take a peek at this one, we need to ensure that all text have some kind of margin at the edges, so it never goes all the way to the edge, because then it will be hard to read. So we need to fix that one. Are there any other stuff that we need to fix? Well, we have also some kind of, let's see if I scroll down here. We see that the rocket size, of course, we need to handle, but we see that we can't scroll all the way. You can't see that. Oh, sorry, I'm standing in front of that one. I move over to that side. Sorry. Much better. Okay, so let's see. You can see that now when I try to scroll, I can't reach the bottom. And the reason is, of course, that we have a fixed menu. A fixed menu means that we rip it out of the flow, and then we need to kind of handle that by ourselves. So we need to compensate for that. And we can do that by adding a padding to the body or a padding to the wrapper, in our case. Or padding to the footer, because that is the element that goes at the bottom. So let's see if we can fix those things. Let's start with first. Now I realize that the text in this one is bigger than that one. I said that I will try to do this by eyeballing. This is San Francisco. This is probably Helvetica or Helvetica Neue even. So I think that my first impression of font size 110 was not that good. So I removed that one, and that looks better. Okay. The padding at the bottom, if I add it to the body, then it will add some kind of distance to the bottom, between the bottom of the wrapper and the bottom of the body. And as the wrapper is where I set the black color, and the reason for that is when we are doing the big screen, we should have another color at the side. So maybe I think here that it would be nice if the black went all the way to the bottom. Yeah. So let's add the padding here. Padding bottom, and you need to have as much padding as the height of the navigation, or maybe even a little more. So if we see that the text here has this height, then we can kind of count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe. And now we can see, yes, we can scroll to the bottom, so that was all fine. Okay, now we should add the margin to the text, and should we add margin to all paragraphs? Then we need also to add margins to all headings and all other stuff that should go there. That's not a good idea. If I add a padding to the sides of the wrapper, will that be a good idea? Well, it will not be a good idea, because now our areas, the gray area and the white area and so on and so forth, they will now have a border at the side where the body will show through. So that's not good either. So I would like to set padding on all the different areas instead within this one. And we can do that in one go by using the wildcard selector. So I say wrapper, and then greater than or right angle bracket, and then the star. That is the wildcard selector. That means that it matches everything. But as I write like this, what I'm saying now is that this everything needs to be a direct child of the wrapper. So that means I will target this section, but I will not target the elements within that section. So now we can add a padding here. Padding, and let's say that we would like to have 1 M at the top and bottom and 2 M's at the side. And let's take, that was a little bit too much on the sides. Yes. So 1.8 maybe. Should be slightly less. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay, now we have done all these common parts, and we can continue with the fonts.